Many years later, I still ask myself the same question. So this is my second playthrough, and one of the biggest problems that I've just ran into is Yen or Triss. You run into these decisions sometimes in video games, and then if you go on Reddit, or if you go on Facebook groups, or you go on any Witcher forum discussions, you have endless and hours of debate of, do you want to be with Yen or do you want to be with Triss, and why Yen is the best, or why Triss is the best, or why Triss took advantage of Geralt during his amnesia days in The Witcher 2. Now, my point of view, I never read any of the books. I haven't played Witcher 1 or 2 just yet, and I've seen all of the episodes of Netflix The Witcher, but I hear that it doesn't really follow the stories as much, so I don't know, whatever. So my point is, just being a lover of The Witcher and a lover of the world and a lover of Geralt, my main knowledge and everything that I know is The Witcher 3. So my decision on whether I want Triss or Yen is based on that, and is based on my personal emotions and my personal experience with women and how my boy Geralt views them. Now you might think, well, this is very insignificant, just choose one. But it's not. These questions and these decisions are crucial and important to your story. So let me talk about Triss real quick. Since in my first playthrough, and I've only played this game once before in my life, in my first playthrough, I chose Yen. It just, after hours and days of contemplating and overthinking it, I finally went, you know what, I'm gonna choose Yen. And it was kind of hurtful to reject Triss and whatnot, but I felt ultimately it was the right decision. I got the best possible ending that I wanted for my Geralt and for Cirilla and for everyone involved. I was absolutely happy, and it was wonderful. It was great. It felt to me like Geralt and Yen were meant for each other. For other reasons than the obvious, it just felt like that in the game to me. But obviously, when you're choosing between two women and they both want you and you can only have one, there's a lot that goes into that. You understand what I'm saying? You got to take the other woman's emotions into consideration, and how she feels and how you're going to be perceived after you make said decision. Right? Now, once again, I know this is a video game and maybe the stakes aren't as high, but when you put yourself in the character's shoes and you dive so deeply into them, that yes, it is that serious, and yes, it is that important. So going back to Triss, I told myself I'm gonna choose Yen at the beginning of this playthrough, my second playthrough, because that's how it was supposed to go, and I kind of wanted to relive some of the things and remember some of the stuff that I had done in the past. And I was like, you know, I'm in a better place now. I'm more mature. I'm married. I have a life to live, and I have very big responsibilities. There's no way that I am going to dwell or concern or overthink myself with deciding between Yen or Triss. It's very easy. I'm going with Yen, and I'll just be friends with Triss. But as soon as I met Triss again in Novigrad, she looked stunning. She was sweet. She was nice. She clearly felt something for me, and it just connected. It just vibed. Like she was kind of a little scared and kind of like, I don't know, but she was feeling it, and she was sweet, and she was cautious, but it was like beautiful love that you kind of want to hold. Like it was a pretty love. It was a peaceful love. You know what I'm saying? It felt easy. It felt nice. And in real life, I've had that type of love before. So it gets you to thinking and reminds you, and it makes you reminisce about things in the past or things that you've done. So it felt like something I knew before, and it felt like she was a person that there was something there that was really strong. And literally the first words that I said in my head were, oh shit, here we go again. Because I had already predetermined that I was going with Yen, but then when I met Triss, holy crap, it completely blew my mind. Helping her out, seeing what kind of person she is, seeing how she struggles with things. Again, her face being very beautiful, the hair being very bright and red is very different, and it's just really, really nice. And I started having difficulties again. So midway through some of the stories with Triss, I kept thinking about it. I was like, a decision is going to come very soon, and I'm going to have to make it. Well, I'm no longer a 15, 16-year-old, and I'm married now, and I talked to my wife about it. You know, this time I can burden her with some of my altering life decisions also. I don't have to do it alone. I don't have to drown in my sorrow alone or in my decision making. So I talked to her about it, and she gave me her opinion. She gave me her thoughts. She obviously doesn't know the full backstory or anything like that, but just at a very surface level. So ultimately, halfway through the story of Novigrad with Triss, I decided in my head, you know what? I smile, me, the person, I'm smiling every time I interact with Triss. I think she's cute. I think she's funny. I think she's a good person. And, you know, she deserves something better. She deserves maybe for us to be together in a nice place and just get a happy ending. And I thought to myself halfway through those missions, I am going to go with Triss. I'm going with Triss 100%. Because, look, I did Yen, and it's hard for me sometimes to distinguish when I do multiple stories, multiple playthroughs. I like for the story to be the same. I do not like change. So it was difficult, but I even wrote it on my notepad where I take my notes for the games. I wrote, I'm choosing Triss for this 100%. One thing that I didn't want to do was do all of her missions, and then hours and hours and hours later I forget about Triss, and then I see her again towards the end. So I wanted to extend my missions with her. So I was gonna go to Skellige and meet Yen and do some stuff with her, and then come back to Triss and do some more missions and blah blah. So that's how I was gonna play it. So Triss had me. I was in love with Triss, and I was good to go, and everything was great. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to Skellige. Again, I haven't committed to Triss yet, but I'm going to go to Skellige. I'm going to go see if I can find Ciri over there, and I'm going to go see Yen, and I'm going to break the bad news to her. As soon as I get to Skellige, again, I'm determined. I already made my decision. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not backing on it, right? So I get to Skellige, and then we see Yen. The first thing that my boy Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf, the Butcher of Blaviken, says to Yen is, "Oh, you look beautiful." And I'm like, oh God. Oh God, okay. I was like, all right, Geralt, well, this isn't what we planned, my man. This isn't what we're doing. So I had no control over that. He calls her beautiful. She smiles. She says, thank you, this and that. They start doing their thing. We have to go to a wake, but there's some tension there. You know, there's something kind of there. We go, Yen is being oddly nice to me while I'm there. I mean, I noticed that she's a little bossy, right? So Yen, she's bossy. But as they're going to this wake and they get dressed up and they're together and they're chatting and they're walking together and everything, I can't help but realize that Geralt and Yennefer look really, really good together. And I also noticed that my man Geralt really loves her a lot, because he's complimenting her a lot without me having to make any decisions or without me making any choices. Tells her about how good she smells, just smiles around a lot, her wants private time with her, things like that. And Yen is giving it back. And then as we find ourselves in this cave and things are going crazy, the heat of the moment, I have to make a quick decision, blah, blah, blah. Boom, I make a decision, and out of nowhere, we end up on a white horse, and they have sex. Him and Yennefer have sex like that, like out of the blue, so fast. It happened. I couldn't control it. I couldn't stop it. And then I find myself, wow, I did it again. I did it again. What the hell did I do? Why did I do that, right? After they have their intimate time, Yen just seems happy. She seems close to Geralt. Geralt himself seems happy. As they walk out and they're talking and they're doing their thing, I can't help but notice that the relationship with Yennefer seems extremely mature. Seems like there's something there. Now, I'm at the beginnings of Skellige right now, so I can't remember what happens much afterwards, and I can't remember her attitude later on. But so far, she felt like she was Geralt's one true love. Kiera Met said something about following Yen like a lost puppy, and I know she was trying to get under my skin or trying to piss me off, but it almost felt like Geralt completely changes how he is and how he acts when he is around Yen. It's like maybe he can let his guard down and truly be himself. And one of the biggest things for Yen is, I feel like when you have Yen in a room and you guys are together, it can be nice, it can be beautiful, it can be fun, it can be flirtatious, it can be a relationship with the person you love. But the difficult thing with Yen is keeping her in a room with you, because when she's out and she's navigating or exploring or doing something, she doesn't want to tell you anything. She doesn't hit Geralt up to see how he's doing. He doesn't send him, she just kind of does her own thing. But when you understand what I'm saying? It's like when you're with a female or the woman and when you guys are together, everything's great and awesome. But when you're not together, maybe you don't know to trust her. You don't know what she's doing, and she doesn't reach out. She doesn't call you. She's being kind of fake. She's being kind of distant. But then when she gets close to you and you guys are together in the same room or you guys are on a date, oh, it's all wonderful. It kind of feels like that. Like Yen could be the one, but when she's not with us, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. And it also kind of feels like Geralt and Yen have been on this long, long story, fighting monsters and saving the world, and then Yen has been doing all this sorcery crap and all this other things, and like wrong place, wrong time, right? Or right place, right person, wrong time, right?
That you had you.
That's kind of how it felt for Geralt and Yen. It feels like they want to be together, like they're meant to be together, but they haven't had the time to settle down. Life doesn't let them, and there's a lot more important things going on around them that they just can't. So it feels like they themselves have been wanting and been needing to stop so they can settle down. And it feels like they want that. It feels more in line, and I saw this in one of the Reddit posts about this guy. I can't remember his name, and I don't have the source for it, but these are not my words. But he said in a Reddit post, me and my buddies talked about it last night, and we came to the conclusion that Triss is like your sweet college girlfriend, and Yen is like your mature wife. And it kind of made sense a little bit. Yen does feel like your wife. Yen feels like she's your fucking wife. You've been with her for years on years. You guys know each other. You guys are deep in this relationship, and there's a lot of love there, pain there, and all this stuff. And then Triss feels like there's definitely some pain, but like she's a little younger, and you know it's fun and it's dope, and like you don't want to hurt her, and you want to spit your game and say what's up, you know, what's good, and just do your thing and go out, go back to the house, you know, just have fun with her. It feels good. That's how it feels with Triss, you know. But at the same time, you could see yourself settling down with Triss, like, cause you know. And then like another point here is like sometimes like when you date maybe like a girl that's a little bit younger than you, maybe you wonder like, man, do her friends think this is weird because I'm a little bit older, or does the world see it a little weird because I'm a little older? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does she have the same interests that I do? Does she like the same movies that I like? Does she like doing like some of the activities that I like doing, or does she just want to be on her phone all day? And then you have a woman that you date that's in your same age group, and you guys maybe went to the same school or something, same grade, whatever. So you guys know each other. You know what you like. You guys kind of can talk about the same stuff that interests you. And that's how it feels with like Triss and Yen. So conclusion, right? Because I don't want to keep talking and just blah, blah, blah. Conclusion is, I was determined to choose Triss. After meeting with Yen, things escalated so quickly. The love was already there, and they seem like they're already together. So what was the choice here? What is the choice? What do you guys think? People that have read the books and are like deeply into it, who did you choose? People that love the world of The Witcher and know everything about it, who did you choose? Me, I'm a novice when it comes to the books. A novice even to game 1 and 2. I only know what I know by The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and the Netflix TV show that now I've seen. And I know a little bit, or I can infer, I can use my inferencing skills that I learned in middle school to understand some of the story from The Witcher 2 through the commentary of all of the characters in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So there's a lot there. Yen or Triss, right? Yen or Triss. Who? I think I'm going Yen again. I even put it in my notes. Nah, shit escalated way too fast. Yen is the one. Damn it. That's what I wrote down in my notes. So I guess Yen. Triss or Yen? I guess Yen. I guess I'm gonna go Yen because she is the wifey that you've been with your whole life, and you guys been through it, bro, and maybe you cheated on her, or maybe some things didn't go right, and but she's still there, you know what I mean? Like, she's still there. She's still the mother of your children, and you love her, and the history's always gonna be there. So you love Yen, and you're gonna be with her because that's your wife. And Trish, you know, she was just awesome, but you know that at the end of the day isn't the right choice. No matter how much you want it to be, and no matter how bad you feel for her, it ain't the right choice. But once again, to finish off the video, this is opinion based, and it is a video game, right? So if we don't like something, we can just go back and change it or whatever. That's the beauty of it. But still feels important, still feels high stake. Thank you so much for watching this long ass video about Yen or Triss. I will catch you guys in the next episode.